Well, we did it. We started our Daggerheart campaign, and it went amazing. All our characters came to life. Everybody had the best time, and I learned a lot. But now I got to start getting ready for the next one. So I feel like there are two ways to play TTRPGs. There's the way that focuses on mechanics, and there's those players that love the math and the structure and playing it more like a traditional game, a board game without the board. Then there are those players that play for the experience, that get their high from theater of the mind, that are in it to write a movie with their best friends. Of course, there are those rare players that meet in the middle. They like the structure, they like the rules and the mechanics. However, they are in it for the experience as well. Personally, I'm in it for the experience. So that brings me to my first point. The book makes it a point to talk about sharing narrative authority with your players. That it is not the GM's story, that it is everybody's shared story to tell, that it's collaborative effort, and that you can allow yourself as a GM to take a little bit of pressure off and see what your players come up with. Challenge them in the creative space. And ultimately, there's a far more rewarding situation that occurs when you share narrative authority. And Daggerheart is definitely built and designed to support that. Now, you can only really do that if you've established trust at your table. If you have role-played before. It can be a little scary if you're going to do this as a one-shot or with a group that you've never experienced play with before. We did something that we felt was pretty crucial to start this campaign, which was have an effective session 0. And also, we took it a step further than that, too. We decided that the first time we would play these characters all together would not be the first official episode of the campaign, knowing that we were going to post it and make it a podcast and the whole bit. So we did a session 0. And then once we felt really good about our group and our characters and we had our ideas, we took a week to flesh that out and then did a one-shot with our campaign characters. And I can't tell you the difference that made going into the campaign with a level of comfort and confidence. Of course, there's already nerves, at least on the GM part. If you're a GM that gets nervous and takes the weight of the responsibility of the entire room and everything that happens within on your shoulders, like me, then you know how that feels to have those nerves flying around, especially kicking off a brand new campaign. So to have a good session 0 and to do a one-shot if you've got the time with your campaign characters was, to me, one of the most important things we did, and ultimately what helped set the tone for the beginning of the campaign. Made a really big difference, especially when there's more resource management involved in Daggerheart. There were a couple of times during that one-shot where I forgot to make sure that the players would use their hope specifically for the help mechanic and to also use your experiences. It's an easy thing to forget whenever you're in the moment, you're telling a story or there's a heightened situation, but also making sure that I'm tracking my fear and also using it appropriately. Those mechanics are so supportive to the narrative and all the many directions that it can go. And you could view that as an added weight on the GM's shoulders, but the balance comes in where you are able to share narrative authority, you are able to trust your players, you are able to hand the baton off and edit their story, add to their scene, react to their decisions. And it makes resource management, it makes story beats, plot points, it makes the overall enjoyment that much better. Is Daggerheart for everyone? No, it's not supposed to be. If you're looking for increased challenges in math, If you're looking for an abundance of structure, then you may want to look at some of the other amazing TTRPGs that are out there. But I would challenge this. Lean in to the story, lean into the experience, setting, mechanical structure, the net that it provides, set it aside. There's still that structure. The net is still there. However, the freedom that you are provided in storytelling through the Daggerheart system, that's what we've always looked for at our table, and we found it. So check it out anywhere podcasts are enjoyed, and there's going to be plenty more to come. Thanks for watching.